during my final exam, I literally like froze for some time. I had so much anxiety in my head ki I just froze. I was unable to do anything. So that's what anxiety does. So don't ever fall into that.
Hello Arushi, how are you?
Good evening, sir. I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good. Good evening. तो क्या चल रहा है? ऑनलाइन क्लासेस चल रही हैं?
हाँ जी सर, बस अब कोरोना की वजह से सब कुछ ऑनलाइन.
सब कुछ ऑनलाइन. ओके ओके. तो जो भी देख रहे हैं लोग उनके लिए कैन यू जस्ट टेल व्हाट currently you are doing in which college and stuff like that?
Hello everyone, I'm Arushi Sharma. I'm pursuing Electronics and Communication Engineering from NIT Hamirpur.
Okay, great. NIT Hamirpur, great. So just can you describe कि जब आप प्रिपरेशन कर रहे थे जेई की, what was the biggest obstacle जो आया आपको तैयारी करने में?
I think the biggest obstacle was managing all the emotions and along with the studies. Like we all can do studies. We have brains and we can focus and we do hard work. We can focus we can focus and we can cover that part. But it's about the emotions. You hardly can control them. It's about the stress that develops. I think all we need at that point of time is support and something that can just calm our brains. And we need not to take control over us, because if anxiety takes control, then things ruin. And that was the basic problem I suffered.
तो what kind of emotions? थोड़ा सा with an example or something आप describe कर सकते हो कि मतलब कि टेस्ट खराब हुआ उसके कारण या किसी दूसरे ने अच्छा किया कम करके, stuff like that.
It was like when you see people excelling, like obviously the batchmates excelling and you're stuck at the same position in spite of you're doing hard work. So it feels like ki nahi hoga. Like I'm not meant for it. And then stress starts building up. And then anxiety takes control. And then फिर होना भी होता है तब भी नहीं होता है. So it's like
it's like a vicious chain reaction. तो मतलब step 1 is like the comparison. Step 1 is like the comparison कि आपने अपने आप को compare किया. Then step 2 is like कि फिर anxiety थोड़ी बढ़ती है. But step 3 is like फिर ऐसा होने लग जाता है कि कि आप मेरे से होगा नहीं.
Exactly. Like you just start memorizing all the expectations like people had from you, and then suddenly it's like, boom, you are not able to do anything and it's all pathetic. So I think that is the basic problem.
तो मतलब किस चीजों से इमोशनल स्ट्रेस आता है एक स्टूडेंट को? लाइक व्हाट आर द इमोशनल प्रॉब्लम्स व्हिच अ स्टूडेंट जनरली फेस ड्यूरिंग द प्रिपरेशन, एक तो हो गया, एक तो वो कंपटीशन और एक हो गया expectations from the family members or stuff like that.
Expectations from everyone around. It's not just the family members. Everyone expects you, since like you study well and everyone, like since you're putting up efforts, you start expecting from yourself ki I'm putting so much efforts, why aren't I receiving any results? But sometimes it's just that ki factors are not focused always on the right path. We just put in efforts, but we don't have, sometimes we fail to understand actually where the efforts were supposed to be put to. Right. Like supposedly sometimes it's like we do too much of practice and we forget some of the concepts. Sometimes we focus too much on the concepts and we don't undergo that much level of practice. So anywhere the lag, that small amount of lag creates the difference.
Okay, so during the exam also you used to face this kind of fear and all that during the exam. So we started our discussion post exam. एग्जाम के बाद जब मेरा रिजल्ट आता था तब comparisons होते थे, उससे नेगेटिविटी आती थी. एग्जाम में कैसा मतलब इमोशनल रहता था? Can you just tell that? What kind of problems?
During the exam, it used to be like I used to attempt the paper, but during my final exam, I literally froze for some time. I had so much anxiety in my head ki I just froze. I was unable to do anything. So that's what anxiety does. So don't ever fall into that. It was always like results worry us.
No, if your anxiety started with a particular question कि हाँ ये question मेरे से हुआ नहीं, and then you started with all the negativity and stuff, या फिर इन जनरल ऐसे ही मतलब while writing the
Exactly.
exam you are thinking about the result, मतलब क्या हुआ था?
No, it's exactly like when we solve a question that is very easy according to us, right? So we are unable to sometimes find a solution of that question. So we'll try to solve it again. So फिर नहीं आ रहा है, फिर वो धीरे धीरे that starts building up, and then suddenly it's like कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है और अब कुछ भी नहीं होगा, and it's all falls like a blackout stuff and everything is like done, messed up.
Okay, okay, मतलब it's just
So that is
one question और उससे impact इतना ज्यादा कि हाँ मतलब one question नहीं हुआ that means कि मैं I am not meant for you know these kind of exams, मतलब ये होता है.
it's actually like कि it's not about that one question, but वो काफी सारी चीजें जो हुई होती है ना past में, वो एकदम से all the results we faced and everything, वो सारी ना एकदम से याद आने लग पड़ती हैं, and
Okay,
then
okay,
that anxiety comes up. So
okay,
it's just a trigger to that. It's
okay,
basically a
okay,
trigger to that.
okay, okay, मतलब वो जैसे रिवोल्ट ऑफ 1857 हुआ था तो एक इवेंट ने ट्रिगर्ड एवरीथिंग, सो that's like
Exactly.
एंजाइटी अटैक. ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है.
Yeah.
तो आई एम श्योर जो भी लोग देख रहे हैं काफी लोगों को ये प्रॉब्लम है. मतलब आपकी बात बिल्कुल ठीक है कि तैयारी तो सब करते हैं जिसने भी यू नो मेडिकल या नॉन मेडिकल रखा होता है तो वो कुछ सोच समझ के रखा होता है. 10th में अच्छे मार्क्स आए होते हैं उसी के बेस पे रखा होता है. सो तैयारी के साथ साथ इट इज extremely important to take care of the emotional stress also, कि हमें स्ट्रेस को मैनेज करना है. सो कैन यू जस्ट गिव सम टिप्स कि ये सब कैसे मैनेज होगा? मतलब प्रॉब्लम तो स्टेट कर दी और ये सबको आ भी रही है, मतलब सबको तो नहीं, काफी लोगों को आ भी रही है कि हाँ किसी का रिजल्ट अच्छा आया उसका स्ट्रेस आ गया, एग्जाम में 2-3 क्वेश्चन नहीं हुए उसका स्ट्रेस आ गया. सो हाउ टू टैकल ऑल दिस? कैन यू जस्ट टेल दैट?
So the basic points of tackling all of this is, I believe, like what we stop doing is we stop doing any physical activities, like recreational activities, not playing up on the phones or something. Like recreational, like playing badminton, maybe roller skating, maybe football, basketball. What that does is it balances the adrenaline and stuff, and like it calms you down. It's like tested, like all the physical activities always calm you down. So that is the best thing to be done for balancing emotional problems. Other than that, I can just say stop thinking too much of things. Stop thinking on too much of things, because thinking creates overthinking and that leads to anxiety. But as I know, stop thinking is never easy. So try distracting yourself, like maybe playing something, or maybe when you feel like you have too much of anxiety, solve too many of questions that will turn into as an output. So that is what can be done.
तो व्हाट यू आर सेइंग इज हमें अपनी प्रिपरेशन में ही बहुत डीप नहीं चले जाना चाहिए. लाइक वी हैव टू engage ourselves in some recreational activity, be it exercise, you know, उससे और भी चीजें
Exactly.
वैसे तो मैनेज होंगी. ठीक है,
It
not
should
just
not
stress.
be just it should not just be a monotonous thing, like only
Yeah,
studying, because that's what creates stress.
yeah, and some people include mobile, laptop, gaming and all that stuff in recreational activity. So आपके क्या views हैं इस पे?
So I don't think mobile and all of these things are recreational activities, because they are stressing up your brain again.
Again,
Like you are being exposed to screen and they are stressing up your eyes, and further your brain is being exercised for that too. So what kind of recreation is that where you have to do your exercise? Your brains and eyes have to exercise. So I don't think that is.
yeah, exactly. So the next thing is, जैसे बहुत सारे you know students होते हैं कि ये मेरा favorite subject है, मैं यही पढ़ लेता हूँ या यही पढ़ लेती हूँ, या मैं 2 सब्जेक्ट पढ़ लेती हूँ, एक सब्जेक्ट छोड़ देते हैं, काश ये एक सब्जेक्ट होता ही नहीं. तो क्या ये एक सब्जेक्ट वाले तो चलो वो तो है ही है, या इवन 2 सब्जेक्ट वाले लोग भी कैन दे क्रैक a good exam and they reach you know a decent college? Can you attain with at least 2 सब्जेक्ट? मतलब एक सब्जेक्ट वाले या 2 सब्जेक्ट्स वाले जो ये लोग हैं इनको आप क्या गाइड करोगे? मतलब
So I think for a student there is never a favorite subject.
okay,
It's a curriculum. You need to learn all the subjects, and that is what is necessary. By any chance, like 1% chance, if you crack the exam with 1 or 2 favorite subjects, it's like very difficult to sustain in college. you won't be able to sustain because there'll be students who will be knowing, who will be having knowledge, and you'll be like ignorant towards it because you'll be having only one or two favorite subjects. So it will be very difficult for you people. And I don't think like JEE is so scheduled, like it's the exam pattern is such that it can be cracked with one or two
हाँ,
subject knowledge.
that's true, that's true. मतलब वो एक they are they want to check all the skills, so you should have all the skills.
Exactly.
मतलब
Exactly.
ऐसा
An
नहीं कभी
engineer
होना
is
चाहिए.
supposed to.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. तो सब लोगों के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट मैसेज कि जो लोग भी ये सोच रहे हैं कि मैं 2 सब्जेक्ट बहुत अच्छे कर दूंगा, 1 सब्जेक्ट नहीं होगा, 2 में मैं फुल मार्क्स ही ले आऊंगा, डोंट डू दैट. अगर आपको क्लियर करना है, इवन इफ यू वांट, यू आर नॉट टारगेटिंग जेई एडवांस, इफ यू आर टारगेटिंग इवन जेई मेंस, यू नीड ऑल द 3 सब्जेक्ट्स, राइट?
Exactly.
और
Yes, sir.
आपकी भी कोई ऐसी रहती थी क्या, मतलब कि एक सब्जेक्ट पे ज्यादा टाइम लगाना बिकॉज योर फेवरेट है एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट?
So I like for some time I just made maths as my favorite. For some time I had chemistry as my favorite. It kept on switching. But
ओके.
it was like eventually I had to do all the subjects and eventually I gave up this idea of favorite subject and stuff.
हाँ, मतलब ये मेरे को काफी हॉबी टाइप लगता है, मतलब ऐसे लगता है कि स्टूडेंट्स
Exactly.
को एक हॉबी दे दी हुई है, यू पिक वन एंड देन यू विल सक्सीड. ऐसा नहीं है,
Exactly.
इट्स मैंडेटरी.
Like if they want to like study one particular subject, we have MSc and things for that. Like
Yeah,
engineering, I think requires all three subjects.
all 3 सब्जेक्ट.
Complete.
या सो जैसे मतलब यू वर गुड इन योर स्टडीज, एवरीथिंग वाज गुड. तो जेई, यू आर नॉट इन आईआईटी, यू आर इन एनआईटी. तो मतलब कभी कभी
Yes.
आपको लगता है कि ये आई वांटेड टू बी अ बैटमैन बट आई एम स्टक विद बीइंग रॉबिन, कुछ ऐसा लगता है आपको? या शुरू में लगा था, अब कॉलेज में आके नहीं लगा? सो कैन यू जस्ट टेल मी कि जैसे एनआईटीज में क्या रहता है, आपको लगता है कि आपको कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिल पाई? हैड यू बीन इन आईआईटी तो आपको एक अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती, और यहाँ पे you can't fulfill your dreams or something like that? I just want an honest answer on that.
Sure, sir. So initially it
and
felt
sorry to interrupt you, and why I am asking is this, क्योंकि बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स का एक डाउट होता है कि अगर हमें एक बहुत अच्छे एनआईटीज में या अपने स्टेट के एनआईटी में ब्रांच मिल रही है अपनी मनपसंद की, या कोई भी मिल रही है, so should we take a drop and then try for IIT, or should we take it? That's why I'm asking.
okay. So to be really honest, like firstly I was devastated, like literally devastated कि I studied this much and IIT nahi hua and everything वही सारा हुआ trauma है. But eventually when I entered college and everything, so I never felt कि my opportunities were blocked. I created them for myself. Because I believe that every government college like NIT or IIT provides equal opportunities to students. You can always form more of clubs. You can always, like, organizing a fest is always in the hands of the students. Though it's a universal fact that NITs get less funding than IITs. But then I'll give you an example. ISRO also receives less funding than NASA. But still we made it to Mars in the first try.
Very nice.
So it's about creating opportunities and following them. It's about at any position you are, like I believe if you're in a government college and you're at any position, then we can do it. Like it's not about disheartening. If you are getting some good branch, whatever you needed in any college, then go for it. Just don't miss the opportunity. Like if you think that you only need the IIT and you are like focused on some particular branch, then you can drop too. But be sure you're able to manage your emotions then. Because if you're not able to manage your emotions, then dropping is never a solution. Dropping will create all of a rush again and it will be horrible. So you'll be missing this opportunity too, and further it will be drastic.
Yeah, and my verdict is just like you are saying you were devastated with the, you were not able to accept that reality. Yes, it happens.
Exactly.
For me also the situation was same कि मेरे को लगता था कि I belong to IIT and now I am in BITS. ठीक है, ऐसा लगता है. ठीक है, वो शुरू में लगता है. Then the first thing which I did was मैंने find out करना शुरू किया कि यहाँ पे career options क्या हैं, placements कैसी हो रही हैं, फिर और एक बात पता चली कि प्लेसमेंट्स तो सब लोग लेते ही नहीं है, पीपल गो अब्रॉड फॉर देयर हायर एजुकेशन। फिर मैंने ये चीजें पता करनी शुरू की कि जो हायर एजुकेशन के लिए वो जा रहे हैं, तो कोई ऐसी यूनिवर्सिटी है जो सिर्फ आईआईटी वालों को लेती है और बाकियों को नहीं लेती? आई फाउंड कि ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है। सो फॉर मी आई यूज टू थिंक कि ऐसा आई लॉस्ट सम अपॉर्चुनिटी और समथिंग लाइक दैट, बट ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं। एंड सिमिलरली व्हाट आई नो फ्रॉम माय पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस इज आई हैव वर्कड इन मेनी कंपनीज। तो ये जितनी भी कॉलेजेस हैं, ये ऑल दीज बिलोंग टू टीयर 1 ओनली, बी इट आईआईटी, एनआईटी, बिट्स, ये सब टीयर 1 को बिलोंग करते हैं। The only difference is, okay, let's say I am a recruiter, let's say I belong to a very nice company, let's say मैं Apple से हूँ, तो मैं अगर रिक्रूटमेंट के लिए आया हूँ, so there can happen a situation जहाँ पे मैं हो सकता है आईआईटी से 15 कैंडिडेट लेके जाऊं, बिट से 10 लेके जाऊं और एनआईटी से 6-7 ले जाऊं, बट अपॉर्चुनिटी तो मिली ना।
Exactly, that was you grabbing.
Yeah, it's not like you won't get the opportunity मिल जाएगी। So अगर आपको मिलता है एक डिसेंट एनआईटी या बिट्स या whatever, जो भी कोई अच्छा रिनाउंड कॉलेज है जो टीयर 1 में आता है, आई थिंक वन शुड गो विद इट। जैसे आपने कहा कि इफ यू आर नॉट गोइंग विद इट, फिर आप में पूरा एक इमोशनल स्ट्रेस को बैलेंस करने का वो होना चाहिए। ऑल राइट, थैंक यू वेरी मच आरुषि फॉर द गाइडेंस। तो आई होप ये वीडियो देखने के बाद सब लोग अपने इमोशंस पे कंट्रोल रखेंगे, बिकॉज इमोशनली भी यू हैव टू बी साउंड। ये ऐसा नहीं कि एक क्वेश्चन देख के चक्कर आ गए, सो यू हैव टू बी स्ट्रॉन्ग इमोशनली। एंड थैंक यू सो मच। ऑल राइट, बाय बाय।
Bye bye. Thank you, sir. And I'll just like to conclude with this thing: ki IQ is important, but EQ is very important. Develop your emotion quotient as much as you can. That will really help you.
Yeah, that's
Thank you,
a very
everyone.
nice message. Bye bye.
Bye bye.